Alright, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6:01. If I can have everybody stand, take your hats off, and let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty for justice for all. Okay, Miss Amy, can you do a voice roll call, please?
Trustee Bass,
Present?
Trustee Bosker,
Here.
Trustee Byler,
Here.
Trustee Manning,
Excused.
Board Chair Miskowitz,
Here.
Vice Chair Oldenburg,
Here.
Trustee Ramsey.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you.
Item 2 on the agenda is public comment. At this time, it's only to be about what is not on the agenda, and it cannot be any personal matter. Do I have any public comment at this time?
I received an email from a community member that would like to make a public comment. I'm gonna read the email. Dear Knoxon School Board, I apologize that I am unable to attend the meeting in person. If possible, I would greatly appreciate someone reading this letter during open comment. I would like to respectfully ask if there is anything that can be done regarding the middle school track uniforms. Several of the current uniforms are in very rough condition, with some tops showing holes, significant wear, fraying, and overall wear that makes them look quite ragged. While I know our school faces tight budget constraints and that there are many competing needs, it is difficult to see our athletes wearing uniforms that are so worn out. Many of the students themselves have expressed embarrassment about having to wear them. In fact, some have even offered to simply wear red and black athletic clothing of their own, only to be told that they must wear the official uniforms. I understand that replacing complete uniforms may not be financially feasible at this time, but perhaps there could be consideration given to purchasing new uniform tops while allowing students to wear their own black shorts. This could be a more affordable option while still helping our athletes feel proud and confident when representing our school. I also want to express that I would be more than willing to help explore fundraising opportunities or assist in any way that could help make this happen. Thank you for your time, consideration, and continued support of Knoxon students. I appreciate all that you do for our school and community. Sincerely, Jolene Jensen.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Okay, moving on to reports. Item 3A, board report. At this time, I don't have anything. So moving on to our athletic director, Mr. Havens.
I'm Matt Havens. For those of you who don't know me, athletic director for many years. I just want to approach that track uniforms. We rotate through. It's past time. What happens usually with track or some of the other, the coach says, oh, I don't need the uniforms, and you got to wait 5 more years. So I will look into it. We usually have 20, 30 sets of uniforms. When you get to junior high, it's not so stringent on, at track meets, what they wear, but nice tops are fine. And you know, other shorts or kids do that, even in high school. I'll touch base and I'll check into that, and if that's what it is, they could be past due, but that's what usually happens. Football's kind of in the same boat. They skipped, it's been 10 years since we ordered football uniforms. They go, oh, I don't need them now. Guess what? Now you get to wait 5 more years. So it's not a rotation, a schedule of 5 years. Even the junior high sports are. So, and you know, but I'll check into that for you guys and get back with it. Sports season came to a close. Good seasons all the way through. Thankful for my coaches. Thankful for my assistant, Corey Broadmerkel this year. She was able to free me up so I can go coach track and go to track meets. When I wasn't available, she covered those, and she covered other sporting events too. That's what the assistant usually does. I know Aaron's put in for it, but he's not on here, but, maybe we'll get him on there for next month. But that's huge. It allows me, okay, in the last 13 years I've been doing this, probably, less than 5 activities that I missed. Okay, especially at home, okay? Yes, I do go to some away games, not all, not very many. But, with that, also, that assistant covers not only the games, but sets up, tears down, with me. Also, the assistant takes care of the NFHS networking. That's the cameras and everything. If there's an issue, then that is on. So they've done that over the years for me. I'm thankful that I've done the athletic director here at Knoxon for all the years, and I hope to continue. I know it's later on. But I do like in June that things are being hired, being talked about. So, again, I think I have all the way through January 1st, all figured out. Homes and ways, times and all that. We'll have some little tweaks in there, of course, with junior high, mostly junior high. Okay. There is a possibility of our high school football team playing out of this country, going to Canada. Possibility. Sunburst is trying to co-op with a team from Canada, and so we've already looked into the possibility of all that.
I have
Yes.
a question. Okay, so I know for an average Joe, you have to have a passport. So where does that financial? Because it's pretty expensive for a passport.
Right, and that's already been start. And I said, you know what, we can't ask our kids to go get passports because I don't know what they cost.
I just got 3 passports and it cost me a pretty good chunk. I think the kids were cheaper than mine, but I think that they were like $125.
Yeah, I was thinking 150 per kid, and
Yeah.
it's that group will, if they co-op and MHSA allows it to happen, we'll probably just go with Sunburst. We won't go with, but there's that possibility. But,
I mean, it'd be kind of cool though.
it would be kind of cool.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a while, go play football up in Canada,
Yeah.
where the school, there is 6-man in Canada. So it's bigger. More and more teams are coming to play football.
As long as they don't do Canadian rules.
No, because it's under that MHSA statute and it's
Sunburst.
National Federation rules too. So, yeah, not 35-yard.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you need me, holler at me. I'm usually available through email. Call me, text me, call me. Yeah, if you need something, holler at me.
Thanks, man.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Havens. Now moving on to item 3C, the superintendent principal report.
Okay, so we have ended the school year with successful graduations of seniors and 8th grade and kindergarten students. All of those events were well attended. I've gotten positive feedback for each. We even had the all-school reunion, first one since 1989. So now we're on to the work of preparing for next school year. Summer cleaning crew is already working on deep cleaning the classrooms and common areas and getting those ready for students in August. A couple of things coming up for next year. We will be expanding our student council to elementary students. Elementary student council will be advised and headed up by Cami Shaw, our 4th grade teacher, alongside Jana Grubenhoff for secondary student council. Officers for both elementary and secondary student councils were elected in May, and for both there will be expectations, the job duties, academics, and behavior expectations for those class officers to be communicated to them. Also, Montana PLC, MTPLC, has received grant funding that will allow Knoxon schools to bring in what's called Rachel's Challenge. It's a nationally recognized school culture and student engagement program that focuses on kindness, compassion, connection, and reducing bullying and student isolation. This program includes student and staff components designed to strengthen school climate and promote positive relationships among students. I'll have more additional details as that gets rolling, but it's basically they come in the fall and they do an all-school assembly and run through their program and then come back in the spring. At our last meeting, our BPA students were at Nationals in Nashville, Tennessee, competing in the BPA National Competition. So I want to give you an update on how they did, on their results, and recognize the accomplishments of our BPA students. This year, they advanced, we had several students advance through regional and state competitions to compete at the National Leadership Conference. There were more than 7,000 students there from across the nation, and our students achieved pretty impressive national results. We had a 6th place winner in computer literacy concepts out of 186 competitors. We had an 11th place winner in word processing out of 79 competitors, and a 21st place winner in business communication skills concepts out of 290 competitors. Those are pretty noteworthy accomplishments, given that most of the competitors come from large schools or career academies and private schools and charter schools across the country. In addition to the competition success, we had 9 of our students participate in the BPA National Leadership Academy. Students received training in communication, teamwork, ethical decision-making, leadership styles, and collaboration, which are skills that will benefit them in school and future careers and in their communities. BPA is a fabulous program. It's also kind of expensive and requires a pretty significant family financial contribution, which unfortunately does limit some families and some students from being able to participate. This year, through a combination of fundraising, donations, and family contributions, our BPA students collectively raised more than $30,000 to attend the regional, state, and national leadership conferences. This program continues to provide exceptional value through connecting classroom instruction to real-world applications while helping students develop technical expertise, leadership skills, professional confidence, and career readiness. I just want to thank our BPA advisor, Dana Gruppenhoff, for the work that she does, the students, their families, and community supporters who helped make that opportunity for our students a reality. One of the things I'm working on this summer is I'm trying to streamline the board meeting agenda process. I've elicited the help of a former board member to help figure out those items that occur at regular intervals throughout the month. One of my goals is to get agenda templates put together so that we can put them together with a little bit more quickly and get them out to you a little bit more quickly. And again, I want to invite all trustees when a draft agenda comes out, when you have questions, please come in and talk to me. I had 3 of you, Trustee Miskowitz, Oldenburg, and Bass come in, and we just sat down and just went through the agenda and were able to talk, answer some questions. So my goal is to get the agendas out to you before the Friday before the board meeting, so that there's time to schedule those meetings. And if I can get together templates of things that happen at regular intervals, I'll get those uploaded to the shared drive, and you'd be able to look through and go, okay, next month I know these things are coming. So that's one of my goals for the summer, to get that taken care of.
That's gonna be awesome change, and if we can, and I'd be happy to help, or it'd be nice to distill all that down into one document, so you have your templates, but also one just with kind of everything with maybe ideal time it first shows up on agenda and the absolute drop dead date.
Yeah.
For where we know those things. That'd be super helpful also.
I
They-
have
they-
old school, I have a calendar,
Right,
because
You
that's
can-
what I do.
you do it that way. Just trying to streamline the process a little bit. And again, just as a reminder, I brought this up at the last meeting. We'll be in our final year of the current negotiated agreement with the Knoxon Education Association. So over the coming months, we're gonna prepare for negotiations by reviewing the current agreement, identify district priorities, and monitor factors that affect the negotiation process, including potential changes to school funding following the 2027 legislative session. I want to encourage all the trustees who have not done so yet to begin reviewing the current CBA, so we can get a shared understanding of the existing language and structure that will help ensure the board is well prepared as we begin those discussions later in the year. I also want to encourage trustees to consider whether they wish to volunteer to serve on the board's negotiations committee. Committee membership will be determined through the board's normal process. Any early consideration will help ensure interested trustees have adequate time to become familiar with the current CBA and the issues likely to arise during negotiations.
And just to let everybody know, we have a max of 3 that we put on there.
So,
And when would negotiations ideally start?
they can start at an earlier time. I think in the past few years they've been later and they've gone on over the summer. I would like to have those completed before school gets out, or at least before the end of June of 2027.
So like starting in the winter or something like that, or?
That's one option and one possibility.
We try not to go during the summer. Nobody likes to be here for negotiations during the summer. Fall sports kind of eat up a lot of the NEA's time and parents on the board in the past. So, but if we start before Christmas, you always have that Christmas break off too. So,
Right. And that's all I have for my report.
thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Okay, moving on to number 5. We have discussions, but I don't have anything on those.
We have consent agenda.
You skip. Oh, never mind. I can't read my own handwriting. My bad. I marked it out already. So moving on to item 4. Can I get a motion for items A through E?
D.
A through D.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
D.
a motion to approve consent agenda items A through D.
A second?
Do we have public comment at this time on our consent agenda, payroll and claims, student activity reports, and our past minutes? Okay, board discussion. I just see Mr. Bass looking at the payroll and claims. I just wanted to give him time. Okay. Alright, so Miss Hammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass?
Aye.
Trustee Bosker?
Yes.
Trustee Byler?
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz?
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg?
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, can I get a motion for item 4E, approval of elementary claims and payroll warrants with Trout Creek Sustaining?
Motion to approve elementary claims and payroll warrants.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Public discussion? Board discussion? Ms. Tammy, can I get a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass?
Aye.
Trustee Bosker?
Yes.
Vice Chair Oldenburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so item 5, discussions, we don't have any.
There are no discussions.
Okay. Moving on to item 6, old business. Action item, consider approval of the bi-district transportation agreement between Knoxon District and Thompson Falls School District. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the by-district transportation agreement between Knoxon School District and Thompson Falls School District.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Do we have public comment at this time?
Yes, thank you.
Will you state your name for our camera for me, please?
Absolutely, I'm Caroline Nesbitt, and I am a board member at Trout Creek Elementary. And we have communication that was handed out, and I don't know if everyone has one, so we're going to give it to you right now. There you are.
And I'm Marion Stonehawk, a member of the board from Trout Creek Elementary.
Thank you.
Did you guys get mine?
No, or no, ma'am.
She's
Thank
on
you.
her way. We got an extra one.
Thank you.
Thank you. In particular, we want to emphasize the fact that this has come from OPI. So the questions were from our district, and then OPI responded to them. One in particular, yes, students living within 3 miles of the school may still be picked up by the bus. However, 2010-101 MCA, those students would generally not qualify as eligible transportees for state transportation reimbursement purposes, something that you need to consider. I'm going to leave these with you and hope that you will have an opportunity to not only look at them. Eric came to the meeting and we really appreciated that. That was very kind of you and very kind of your group to have him come and visit us. If you have any more questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll leave you with these and hope that you have an opportunity to go through them so you understand why it needs to be a tri-district, not a by-district. Again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your time,
Thank you.
and hopefully this can be a collaborative effort, and we're looking forward to that.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Okay,
and good to have met several of you.
nice to see you guys.
So before we open board discussion, I do want to remind the board that what it is on the agenda tonight is what we're voting on is the contract between Thompson Falls and Trout Creek. So the contract, how it is stated is what what the motion is for. Okay? So open board discussion. Mr. Ramsey, I'll let you give us more information on this.
Yeah, this is the same transportation agreement that was tabled in May. Because it was tabled, we couldn't make any alterations to it except by board action. So, I mean, if there's any trustees that want to remove or modify any language in it, an amendment can be proposed during discussion. The board would then have to vote on that amendment. And because Thompson Falls has already approved it, we'd have to send it back to Thompson Falls for their approval of the amended agreement. So really, there's kind of 3 options. Either approve the agreement as it's written, reject the agreement as it's written, or amend it and send it back to Thompson Falls. So, kind of because this agreement does have a component of student safety involved, specifically the possibility of Thompson Falls choosing to have their buses turn around at South Hill Road. I do feel that the board should consider passing it, though I do recognize that the safety of Thompson Falls students is not Knoxon's primary responsibility. And this proposed transportation agreement that's being considered is between Knoxon and Thompson Falls. There have been questions that have been raised, and questions and concerns regarding transporting elementary students from Trout Creek to Knoxon. I did reach out to our legal counsel, Via Keleva, and asked her if Knoxon is doing anything out of compliance at all by picking up elementary students at the same stop so that we pick up high school students in Trout Creek. And she answered no, absolutely not. We're not doing anything out of compliance with that. That being said, while the transportation agreement before you today is between Knoxon and Thompson Falls, I do truly believe that there is value in maintaining positive working relationships among all three schools in our area. We already successfully partner in athletics with Thompson Falls, and I would like to welcome opportunities to collaborate with Trout Creek, whether they'll be through joint assemblies, educational activities, field trips, other shared experiences. I look forward to exploring how our two schools can work together to benefit students through our communities in mutually beneficial ways that support student success. So I would like to invite Trout Creek's administration and board members to collaborate with me on such opportunities. Like I mentioned earlier, Rachel's Challenge. We can, when they come in and do their program and their assemblies, I'd be happy to go and shoot, I'll send our activity bus up there, pick up Trout Creek kids, bring them down, and begin to do some collaborative work with our students together. Regardless of the board's decision, I believe that there is value in continuing to look for ways for our schools to work together, and doing so benefits our students and communities.
Any further board discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a question. So, the proposed agreement with Thompson Falls, if, student safety is regardless of district, a top concern for, I think, everyone. Could we let them turn around in Trout Creek and not give them permission to pick up students? That kind of ameliorates the safety concern. And
No,
because, the rest of the issue is very charged, and if, for the time being, safety is their primary, until we can, spirit of collaboration, figure something out that works for everyone, but for the time being, I see no issue with them turning a bus around inside our district, but not necessarily permitting them to pick up students.
They have been going to the Trout Creek local store. Same thing, right?
Right?
Yeah, that's where they
And then
go.
they're going there, I see them there every day.
Years ago, I believe they went to White Pine, and now White Pine's closer to South Hill than the Trout Creek local store. It's a catch-22 in my opinion, to get there, and pick up all the kids, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know.
See, okay, the bus up South Hill was picking up kids.
Yeah.
They said it was unsafe. It came back to our board. We allowed them to come into Trout Creek. Now the parents that were catching the bus in South Hill now are catching the bus in Trout Creek at the local store.
When really
They
they're-
weren't
Why
turn.
couldn't
We
they
weren't
go
just
to
giving
White
them a turnaround spot. They were actually physically. We are allowing them to meet the bus. That is their bus drop off and pick up.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
But really,
that's
White
what they're
Pine
asking. It's
is
not
their
just a
cutoff.
turnaround.
Right, and White Pine is closer to Thompson Falls.
Yes.
And it's inside their
closer
district.
to the residences on
And,
South Hill Road.
But it's farther for the parents to travel to get their kids.
Any questions that the public has, please write them down. Email Mr. Ramsey. We will have a full discussion with those. We just don't do a Q&A discussion.
Yeah, no, I will look at myself.
Okay, well, I have a couple of things that have been brought to my attention, so I'm just gonna bring them out through me. One, the end date in this, so technically when was their last day of school? That was the question, cause the end date isn't their last day of school. So if we do that, that was not their end date for this year. So I haven't seen their calendar, so.
Last Friday.
Okay, so last Friday is way past June the 30th, so technically they wouldn't legally be able to access the local store if we sign this contract for June the 30th. So from there, from June 30th to the end of school. Oh wait, we're in June. I'm getting my days. May, sorry. Okay. So that checks that one off. And then the other one is some of our residents don't like that it says White Pine Cemetery, that they give us access to White Pine if we're not going to use it. Why does that language need to be in here?
And I also wonder that, it looks like we're traveling our taxpayers all the way to White Pine when we're never going to do it. I've told we've never done it, we're never planning to. It just makes it look good because they're still double
It's tit
dipping.
for
Looks like
tat is what it
reciprocity.
looks
You
like.
have the fire hall.
I brought that up too, and that it has to be plowed legally because it's a fire hall.
The county whips in, or, yeah, the county or state whips in and plows ours 2 or 3 passes. And I imagine that the county or state will, part of the state plows that one. And that's a
Has to
pretty
be
big
emergency
turnaround. I
ready.
think.
Okay.
So
Well,
they wanna be able to pick up and drop off students at the local store because it is more convenient for parents that live in the Thompson
They don't
Falls
come out
School
and say
District.
that.
No, it's more
the
convenient
families
for
that
them
live
to
in
pick up the
Knoxville.
Trout
Our
Creek.
kids.
Trout Creek and Knoxon kids in Trout
back.
Creek.
To take them to Thompson Falls.
Yes.
And how is
And then-
incentivizing out of district enrollment beneficial to this school district?
It's not.
Not.
We pay them for those kids too.
So, I mean, in my mind, even the intended benefits of this aren't necessarily clear, nor are the unintended consequences. And I certainly fail to see any clear benefit to our district. I think if there's a true safety concern, we should absolutely engage and talk about how to address that, but as this sits,
If-
I just don't think this is in the interest of our district.
If
At
they
this time, however, would encourage a collaborative, let's get together with all 3 districts and try and really tease out and understand what the intended benefits are and what the challenges would be and see if we can work something out.
Is the issue with South Hill Road turning the bus around or turning left out onto Highway 200?
It's kind of everything in the pile of cars. It was kind of a mess the 2 times I did drive by it when they were using it. It wasn't, the worst I've ever seen, but it wasn't good.
And I hate to be the bearer of like being devil's advocate here, but it's not Knoxon's responsibility to make sure Thompson Falls is safely picking up their kids.
And I'm pretty
Because
sure.
I'm over, like, as a board member, I would be overreaching way out of my lane to call Thompson Falls and tell them that they are doing something unsafe. I don't want them to call me and start yelling at me because they don't like something that us as a board is doing, so, but that's a Thompson Falls issue that they need to address, and their parents need to address it with them. We know that we have a state law that says that parents have the right to choose, and if the parents that are getting their kids South Hill, White Pine, at the local store, if they still choose to drive those extra miles, that is on them, not on everybody else.
And I can guarantee that if we don't do this agreement, they ain't gonna travel that bus 6 miles to the local store. They're gonna turn around at White Pine, or else they're still double dipping on theirs.
Yeah, but that again,
Yeah,
is
it's
that's
not our
a-
issue.
Yeah, that's
More
a
of
Thompson
a-
Falls issue.
More I get to look at, okay, so this is how it really is. We went there in disguise of a safe turnaround, but we're hauling how many Knoxon kids, Tammy?
About 15 high school.
15? How much are we
And
paying?
how many Trout Creek, I don't know.
How much do we pay them for those 15 high school?
About $40,000.
So again, I will remind everybody what what is opened on the motion is the language that has been presented to us in front of us. We can, if we don't like the language per se in the contract, we can make amendments and send it back up to Thompson Falls, see if they're willing to change what we propose language change. B option is we vote yes, no, or sustain from it. That is what is in front of us.
And I just have one more comment.
Mhm.
I sent you guys all the original agreement that was on file at the courthouse from 2004. We wouldn't be here today if we could still be friendly neighbors. If we were still,
I still think we would be, because when we're crossing district lines and we're talking about $40,000,
well, yeah,
I think transportation would have eventually been on our radar. to change
Tuition
something.
is new,
Yes,
just in
it
the
is.
last couple of years.
Yeah, I
But
think
this
eventually
started
it
way
would've-
before that, Amber.
I-
Way
no,
before.
I'm not disagreeing. I just think that it would have been on our radar because we would have been a really crappy board if it wouldn't have been.
So if Trout Creek were not written out of this current proposed agreement, how would the picture change? I guess I still don't have full context on what.
I used to be able to catch the Trout Creek bus at the end of the Knoxon Bridge, which is technically from what, Tammy, the dam, Stevens Creek, 2.5, or was it Rock Creek? Rock Creek?
Rock Creek.
Rock Creek.
But technically it's wherever their last stop
So wherever their
is
last
within
stop
their
is,
district.
or the district lines was Rock Creek, so a couple extra miles, okay, we'll give them that. Supposedly, a superintendent was taking advantage and going all the way to Thompson Falls, but that was another technicality, cause I hear those buses are going through from their bus barn is in Thompson Falls. So I don't know,
Okay.
they double dipped on the taxpayers is what they're saying,
And for
to
two
where
routes that cover the same area. Okay.
we were never doing anything wrong in Knoxon, but we've had this, and we need to work with Trout Creek because they are our high school district. We need those 15 kids to come here. I mean, we want them to want to come here.
Well, yeah, I think we have a good relationship with all of our neighbors.
This
or
is
our
our-
immediate neighbors.
This
yeah,
is our
important.
actual, Trout Creek High School students are supposed to come here from the trestle over,
Mhm.
but they're choosing to go there for more opportunity.
That's why I wanna open up like our events and assemblies and.
But
even
when we're closing these
concerts.
guys out, we're not opening it up. My opinion.
I mean, I guess I would just say, I would hope that more discussion among all three districts continues,
That's what I would like,
especially if there are perceived safety threats. But in my mind, it's not, with all of the uncertainty, I certainly would not be proposing to amend this and send it back. I would just propose to be a no on it, but in the interest of further discussion, if there is the thought that something needs to happen still.
Did
But
we
I just
hear
have not heard
think
a
about
compelling
working
reason that we need this or that it's in the interest of our district.
During vacation, I did not hear back from Kelva on
Well,
the
just there was talk of the
proposed-
working group.
Yeah, I sent her the email, I tagged all of you guys into it, and
Okay.
I haven't heard anything back from her.
Then I make a motion that we reject the agreement as written.
Nope, nope.
The
Oh.
motion
Oh.
is
Just
to,
vote no.
motion to approve, so.
So we already made the motion to
Yeah,
approve.
we are, to approve, that's why I said you have the
Okay.
option, if we don't like the language, we can propose to amend,
No,
and give it back,
abstain,
or we can vote yes, no, or sustain.
Okay, thank you for
The only way of
clarification.
getting to school is you went to your school, and if not, your parents took you back.
To the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I say.
So, any further discussion, or are we ready to vote? Miss Tammy, can you do a voice vote, please?
Yes, trustee Bass,
Okay.
trustee Bosker,
No,
trustee Byler,
No.
Orchard Miskowitz,
No.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Nope.
trustee Ramsey.
No.
All opposed, motion fails.
Okay, moving on, sorry, item 7, new business, consider approving, how do you print it?
Axiom.
Axiom Division 7 roof repair bid. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve. Oh, hold on, let me think for 1 second.
You can also make a motion to open discussions.
So we have proper motion to clarify, I'm trying to remember.
Would you like some,
Suggested language?
so the motion would be, to select Axiom as a successful bidder for the roofing project, subject to successful negotiation of a contract.
Yeah, you have to say that.
I can say so moved.
I can't make a motion.
You didn't, you read a motion and I said so moved to the motion that you read.
That works, as long as you give Miss Hammy the official wording so she can have that verbatim, that will work.
You need a second.
Okay, public comment. Okay, before we give you the floor, Mr. Dan, okay, we're going to give over to Dan, and the floor recognizes Mr. Bledsoe and Mr. Ramsey for further discussion.
Pull up the chair there, Mr. Nolan.
I realize, first of all, that this is an awful big chunk of our money. However, about 4 years ago, we had a guy come in and bid that did work on our roof. And I'll be danged if I can find that actual bid, but that bid was like $225,000 4 years ago. The thing that I look at, and we have a lot of places that we could spend money. But the big thing is that everything else that we got going on, we can work around. Keep in mind that our roof drains to the middle. If we have roof leaks in this section of the building down here, major roof leaks, it's the hallway that'll suffer the most. Also, the classroom that the leak is in. The question was posed that, will it make it another year? I don't know. I don't know that it won't. I don't know that it will. The roof has 250 patches done by me. And Dave Smith had been patching it for a number of years before we got up there. Before I got up there even. So it's one of those things that we are nearing our absolute lifespan on that roof. To not do this project, I think, would be the wrong path to take. I think we need to pool everything we got. If we can do this, get this roof repaired, and do it with the higher end product so that it lasts another 50 years, I think that's the direction that we should go. My opinion, and I'm on the roof a lot, so think about trying to do a repair on that roof in the dead of winter if we have major leaks. So I think that's probably about the most I can say about it. Is I would recommend that we move ahead with this project if it is all possible, if it can be done.
And you like the KEE, the most expensive option as opposed to the
PVC.
PVC, yep.
It's 80 mil versus 60 mil for the other product.
Both of them together, yes.
Well, so there's the PVC and then the 80 mil and 60 mil of the different type of.
Of the TPO,
Yeah, TPO,
yeah.
yeah.
TPO, yeah,
So, 160.
You suggested the floor with PVC.
the PVC.
Which would be hashed out during the contract phase.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
If we're in that part of it.
Did Mr. Ramsey have like an opening statement?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
undo.
Can we start there?
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
that's the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So really kind of the question about being able to approve Axiom as a successful bidder. The cost of this, as the bid says, $235,000. So there are two funds that fund capital projects in schools. There's Fund 60 and 61, and we have them split up between elementary and high school. What we have currently budgeted for our funds to be able to pay for this, and what we project to be budgeted in fiscal year 2027 reaches $475,629. Okay, so what is available to be budgeted for this project is there without having to go to the taxpayers and ask them for more money. Okay, so I want to make that pretty clear right there. The budget is there for it. Okay. we can use high school Fund 60 and 61 for elementary. We contacted the auditors and they gave approval for that to happen. So both funds can be used for that section. That section of the building is also used by high school students in the music room and other places, so that those high school funds can be used to help with this project. As Dan said, the roof needs to be redone. I talked to Ryan at the Engineering Northwest Roof Engineering, and he concurred that that roof is, if we get a bad winter, we could have a big problem. Okay. So it kind of comes down to the responsibility of the bidder. Okay. So I called several places that Axiom reports on their website that they've done projects for. They did a project for Vita Elementary School in Vancouver, Washington. I called and left a message for them. Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon. I called and left a message for them as well. Waiting to hear back. They did waste management roof in Tacoma, Washington. And they did Expedition Elementary in Puyallup, Washington. Expedition Elementary, the superintendent of Expedition Elementary used to be my high school principal, used to be the principal of the high school I worked at for 10 years. So I reached out to him and talked to him directly. And from his recollection, Axiom did a great job. He's going to have he has a director of facilities. So he's going to have that person give me a call.
You should probably have one of those.
That's me. So I told Brian that's me. Yeah. So as far as some of the concerns have been brought up, as far as the exclusions and things, a lot of those things will be taken care of in the contract negotiation phase. We can't control whether there's going to be change orders, right? We don't know what's going to happen with that. But a lot of the things, as far as the exclusions, the materials, all of those things can be covered in the contract negotiation phase. So it is my recommendation that we select Axiom as the successful bidder, subject to successful negotiation of a contract.
You also had looked at, was it Better Business Bureau?
Axiom has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They're not registered with the Better Business Bureau, but they have an A+ rating with them. There's been, I've done searches for them based on what's available. They come out as a good company in my mind.
Yeah, it's interesting project. I had a lot of red flags at first and have met with Mr. Ramsey and done a lot of research and looked into it. One of my big concerns out of the gate was just the fact that we only had one bidder, and in the bid requirements, it states that it's mandatory pre-bid meeting attendance or you can't put in. And so when only one bidder shows up, they kind of know they don't have competition. So that it's not something we can necessarily control for. We only got one bidder. It is what it is, just not an ideal thing. So certainly not a deal breaker. But like Mr. Ramsey said, I think, it's lowest bid, which they clearly are, and then is it a responsible bid? And so, and did you talk to Ryan? Obviously Ryan
Right.
has worked with them and trusts them.
He's worked with them, and it was when at the pre-bid meeting, he said that they were the one company that he really wanted to show up. And he's on the Zoom there if you have any questions.
Oh, that's right. So I think there. So yeah, there's a lot of red flags just in terms of there's a lot of boilerplate language with what they submitted that are at odds or even conflict what was in what we sent out, and a lot of there's no detail. It's just a lump sum, and so that makes it really hard to evaluate the risk of materials versus labor whether or not the $50,000 contingency is built into that number. So like you said, I think those are things that can be fleshed out through a contract negotiation process and having legal help negotiate that on our behalf. Definitely comfortable with that. I think on the budget side, so between 160 and 161, between the 2 years, we have an estimated 475.
Right.
What is our annual expenditure through those two funds, average annual expenditure?
So far this year in those funds, I think we've put out about 30,000. That's 30,000.
Which is which between 60 and 61?
60 is your building reserve fund, and 61 is your
Major maintenance
That's
budget.
major maintenance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the cooler work, the sprinkler work, those were all
Right.
61.
61,
Six-
correct.
yes.
Okay. So even if we had some substantial things break, there's a lot.
And you know, the work we did on our septic this year and the cooler. When I talked to Dan about it, he says the number one thing is the roof. All the other things that we can keep running.
Well, that roof, I know, I've been hauling it for 3 years. If we keep dragging our feet, we're gonna be in trouble. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think
It's your
anybody
job.
disagrees it's got to be
Never-
replaced.
They never finish on time.
And it's currently June 8th.
Yeah.
School starts in my mind tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
no job ever
we
ends
have-
on completion, they get it, they drag on.
I do not want to start school with roof work going on.
I don't think we can.
No,
No, we
because they
can't.
could end up
Nope.
inside too.
No, I mean legally, I don't think we can.
Oh.
Because we're safe for the kids.
Well, that's the thing, if they get in there and find other things, then have to come into here, which is what I'm saying. You can't kick around plain and simple.
How long would you anticipate contract negotiations lasting? How long would you like to see them last?
No more than 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
That's even wrong.
You know, which would put us before our July meeting, so we need to consider a special board meeting to approve that contract.
And the change orders do scare me, and there are things that can be done to reduce that risk, which are clearly defined scope and a really strong contract. And so, in the clearly defined scope part, we're missing with what is submitted by and large. But I mean,
Change order.
there is the uncontrollable. If they get in there and they find mold and they find rot and things that we're not expecting them to find, that's, can't
Well, didn't
control
one
for
of
that.
them papers you already had said mold was up, they found there was mold.
The thing is that, and Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but due to the way that building is built, is like, there is hardly anything other than the ceiling tile hanging that can't be done from the top. Even if they had to take a truss or rebuild a truss up, or, excuse me, it's a purling is what it is. I would say there's not hardly anything that would put them in this building that I couldn't do, drop a ceiling tile or something like that. But even if they had to pull the insulation, that still could be done from the top. And I'm gonna tell you, is there's a leak in that roof down there. I know about it pretty quick because of the ceiling tile. We can walk through there and I can show you the 3 leaks that are in this building that have been with us for a while, that I haven't tracked down, that haven't been significant to drop the ceiling tile out. If we have a significant leak, and I'm talking about less than a gallon of water, it drops the ceiling tile out on the floor. That's the nature of that tile, and we've not had that for 4 years. because we've been diligent about patching about every little thing that we see on that thing. So I think that we're gonna not find a lot once we tear in and take the sheetrock off and take a look at our decking. Maybe we'll have a piece of decking that's bad, still can be done from the top. And if I'm wrong on that, Ryan, throw it out there.
No, I think you're correct in your assumption there.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope there's no surprises. But and the other is the question of what Axiom would and wouldn't do depending on if there is anything discovered.
Yeah.
I mean, are they tackling? I don't think they are anything below the sheeting.
Okay, so the motion on the table is to enter contract negotiations, correct?
To select Axiom
yeah,
as the
we're going
successful
to
bidder,
Select them, subject to the
successful.
contract negotiations.
I think right now we're talking about what we would like successful contract negotiations to look like. That's what.
As well as making sure we're comfortable, you know, once you get a bid, you have to make sure you can afford the bid.
No roof, no school.
Yeah, I guess as we go into contract negotiations, I would also like to, before we sign anything, would like to have a plan for mold abatement or structural repairs that might be outside of Axiom's scope. Just
As we go into, the board is perfectly able to put together a committee to discuss those things.
Okay.
And that committee can meet and discuss what you'd like to see in that contract.
I think that'd be good, cause that's why I wanna talk about stuff now, cause if we schedule a meeting for 2 weeks out, bunch of work goes into negotiations, and there's like 2 things that get overlooked, that would not be a fun outcome for anybody to come here and vote something down because we gotta go back and get something amended, you know what I mean?
a working group or a committee for the contract. would be
Okay,
much
so-
appreciated.
Should it be sooner than 2 weeks?
Okay, so
I mean, we keep pushing it farther and farther and farther,
It'll be
and
alright.
the more we
We'll be
push
okay,
it,
we'll be okay too.
the farther we're closer to school.
Okay, so as your board chair and having almost 8 years of experience, what we need to do now as the motion is opened right now is, do we have any discussions on this company, us accepting this company? That's number 1. So can we talk about that? And then I'll go on to the next one.
Well, I think accepting this company is contingent on all the other stuff
No,
we're talking
just,
about.
no, cause once we accept this one, then I want you guys to decide who's gonna be on the committee, and then we're going to set in stone when we're going to meet, and then we're going to finalize as a board tonight what we like in that committee, so that the people that are going to be on that committee come in prepared for that next meeting. Because it won't take the whole board to do that, it will only take at the minimum of 3, no more than 4.
Yeah, totally. The committee is just part of the
Yes.
discussion. I
Yes.
didn't know it was a possibility until
Yes.
Mr. Ramsey just mentioned it, so it's all.
Yeah, no, and
Totally.
that's what I'm saying is like, that's part 2 to the actual motion, is to form the committee. Then that way negotiations is started with this company. But as the motion per se is on the table, the number 1 thing is do we have any further discussions on accepting this company? Because we can't form a committee. If we don't accept this company, there's no reason for us to form a committee.
100%. Yep. I think what we're discussing is before we accept any bid, this bid or another one, I know the motion at hand is to accept this particular one. The discussion of a committee even existing, that in my mind is not step 1 or 2, that is in tandem with accepting the bid. So I just wanna make sure that we have a plan before we motion to accept them as the winning bid. But that said, I think committee would be great. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have the fundamental two elements there, the low bid and everything that we are aware of makes us believe it's a responsible bid or a responsible bidder. So yeah, I think we probably need to amend the motion.
Why do we have to amend it? What makes you think we need to amend it?
Or make a second motion to establish a committee.
It
Actually,
could
we
be done
don't,
after this
yeah.
motion.
we don't need,
You don't, no, you don't need a motion
Nope.
to make a committee,
Nope.
just decide who's gonna be on it.
no, it's volunteer in our policies, and I have my policy book, I can show you. In our policies is by volunteer. We have a minimum and a maximum that we can have on a committee. That's it, that's the only, that's the only stipulation, is like you can't have a quorum, so you have to be below your quorum, and it's by volunteer. I cannot, as the board chair, or you as the vice chair, we can't force somebody to be on that committee.
Volunteer.
Yeah, but I think we have to have a motion to form a committee.
Okay.
I mean, I'll look at the policy section.
Can't we just add the committee on to the motion so we make sure we're double checked there?
That's fine, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, let's just do it and go.
Yeah.
Add the committee onto the motions. We're making a motion and a committee to be formed right after. Bam. And then we got our volunteers. We've already got guys volunteering. So you two are volunteering? And you? I think
Yeah.
that's the best three for the job. Which about roofs?
But we're not worried about that right now, we're worried about this.
So I guess I technically made the motion. Can we amend it to add and form a committee to
Yes.
help
A negotiation
planning and
committee.
negotiations?
So you would like a motion to select Axiom as the successful bidder for the roofing project, subject to successful negotiation of a contract and the formation of a board committee
Yes.
to
Enter in negotiations.
And that's mostly to iron out the details if they get into it, find mold and who's gonna pay for that.
We're ready
That
for the
as well
vote.
as the actual, yeah.
Okay, cause my question is to you is I don't understand all of this, like why are those exceptions, do we pay for those?
That's precisely
Okay.
the stuff that has to be
So-
defined through negotiations.
I will
Some
send
of
you,
it.
I will send you an email on mine.
So would you like the motion to be, motion to select Axiom as the successful bidder for the roofing project, subject to successful negotiation of a contract and form a committee to engage in those negotiations?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the difference between subject to and contingent on.
I like,
I think it's fine, but
Smoke coming out of his ears.
I think
no,
the
it
You got your
scope,
fire
it makes a big
extinguisher?
difference.
the scope of the committee would be beyond just contract negotiations with Axiom, is my
Yeah.
only thought.
And it's all, and then you guys have to present it back to the board and answer questions to us, and then that's when we can sign the contract, cause it takes the full board.
Right,
because it is planning and negotiation, because there is more to this.
than
There-
just the contract
That's
itself.
the stuff we haven't talked about. There's engineering services during the construction. There is what services could an engineer do versus a GC, or do we need a GC, or could Ryan tackle all those? There's all those questions too that need to be, so that a clear plan can be articulated to the board of how this is gonna be attacked and what's gonna, and the cost associated. I mean, that's the thing, the cost is not simply what is in the contract or even possible, change orders. There's also engineering services. If that's why I brought up, if they gotta dig deeper than, underneath there, that's probably a different contractor. And so just having everybody understand what the overarching plan is, I think, is important part of this, and what those risks are, what those costs are. Yeah, that's my thought.
And can we have an alternate for for the committee in case one of you guys are out, cause I'd like to have 3 there at all times.
I think,
Just an alternate in case somebody can't be there, and one of you guys are gonna have to take notes, cause that has to be documented as well. Nope, this is out of my realm of expertise. I can be an alternate if you guys want, but it is out of my expertise, I don't
take
know.
Well,
notes,
if all
but I'm
3
the only
guys
one
are
that can read
going.
them.
I'm just worried
Say.
about Jim if fire comes up, or if the guys have something that they're out of town for work when we're constrained in something, that's my only thing, cause I've had it happen.
well, I don't think we have to have 3 though, do we? Can we have 2?
You
Like
can,
if somebody couldn't make
yeah,
it?
you can. Just, I've been in negotiations and been the only one sitting across the table and it gets a little awkward.
That's only one.
I know, that's,
So if you got 3, you can get down to 2.
well, we had 3, and I still was the only one. But that's okay, we can cross that bridge.
Yeah, I don't foresee any
Okay.
reason why I wouldn't be available
Okay.
every night of the week. Oh, kids.
Okay, any other further discussions you guys have? Any concerns with the motion? Okay, and Ms. Hammy, for the record, our committee is going to be Mr. Byler, Mr. Bass, and Mr. Oldenburg.
Noted.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for doing it.
Ms. Hammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Bosker.
Yes.
Trustee Byler.
Aye.
Vice Chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
And Trustee Ramsey.
So, as long
Motion
as
carries.
it's not on a Tuesday, Friday, or Saturday, we're gonna take an emergency medical classes right now.
Okay, we're moving on to item seven
We'll
B.
figure it out.
Yes.
I put myself
Yes,
in
sir.
here.
Do we at this time need to schedule a special meeting, or should we wait a little bit until we have a little?
I
Let's
will-
get, let's get an idea around,
That's
we'll
what I was.
contact Calva, kind of minds around,
Work with Ryan.
Yeah.
work with Ryan.
I figured you guys will set up when, between the 4 of you guys on this end and Mr. Ryan, you guys will have, set up your next meeting for the committee, and then you guys would, you can send out to the full board, information only, and get a date for us, and we can do that. Okay, moving on to item 7B, consider approval of the side-by-side consulting contract amendments for 25.
I have not gotten this from Side by Side yet,
Okay,
again,
okay, so.
but just so you know, when it does come in, it's for 25, 26 for 2 days that a consultant was not able to be here due to weather. So
Okay,
it's, intended to be a credit back to us.
okay, so we're going to potentially table that one, well, we don't, we're just moving on
Just
from
B,
that one.
just
Yeah.
B.
So item 7C, consider approval of the side-by-side consultant for 26-27 of the Montana Reads Grant Professional Development. I can't legally make a motion.
Motion to approve. Item 7B, the side-by-side consulting contract amendment for,
Nothing.
no, I'm sorry, 7C, the side-by-side consulting contract for 26-27 school year.
Second.
Thank you. Yes, I kinda got my hand slapped for making motions. I'm not legally supposed to do that. I'm running the meeting, I can't make motions. So, public discussion?
You exercise good restraint there.
Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
So this is our side-by-side consultants that we've been working with for the past, this past school year in implementation of our Montana Reads grant. This is essentially the same group of people as we worked with in 26, 27, or 25, 26. We've established a relationship with them. Our teachers know them. They know our teachers, and would like to continue working with side by side.
was there, board discussion? I have a question, was there any significant changes from the contract last year versus this year? And I know you just said that our teachers, like and developed relationships, but is our captain of the grants, is she comfortable in getting what she needs from the side-by-side consulting?
Courtney?
Yeah, she feels
Absolutely.
supported in everything in this?
Absolutely.
And this one you did have via review, but it's basically Carbon Cod just changing the date from last year as well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Any further board discussions? Miss Tammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Foster.
Yes.
Trustee Byler.
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Okay, moving on to item 7D, consider approval of contract with Harlow's School Bus Services.
Make a motion to approve the contract with Harlow's Bus Services.
A second?
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
Okay, so this is the fully negotiated agreement with Harlow's Bus Service. There was a little bit of back and forth on this one as we went through it the past week. Kind of the big sections to be aware of are for section 6, general management. We've got the total number of miles from 414 in our previous contract to 407. If there were any other reduction in total miles, that would result in a per mile increase. So we're at 407 miles. So that does allow us some room to, our current mileage is at 392. I think it's at 396.2. We've got the contract set at 407. So we have some room to extend a route, if necessary, if somebody moves in or whatever. Also in section 9, the language in that section was changed a couple of times too, because it's required due to the student protection policy from House Bill 745. That's the fingerprinting for volunteers and everything. So to bring that into alignment with what Montana law is now. And there were some other kind of wording changes in there suggested by Calvin Law that we put in there.
Open discussion, Mr. Ramsey. So the red line that we have that went from Kelowna to Harlow's, they're
Right.
okay with all of that?
They had some come back. Each of the things, there were some that came back to me, and then it went back to them. And in the interim, I didn't send out the interim ones to you.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
But the final one is approved with Keller Law, and Harlow's has already signed it.
okay, I need a copy of that, cause I don't have that one. That's why I have
Oh,
one.
you have that.
Should be in your black binder.
I
The
don't have
final
my
one?
black binder.
Did I give you your
No,
black
ma'am.
binder? Oh,
Sorry.
I think I have an extra copy of it.
she's.
Oh, no, she has mine. I
I
just,
have
I
it.
can go find it on my drive. Thank you.
While they're looking, I would say thanks to Harlow's for working with us, and
Travis is right behind.
thank you for working with us, and it all looked fantastic to me.
Yeah, thank you guys. And gals.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So I don't know where it would be in here, but I did remember the question that Keleva did have in there. So what was the answer back to the school having access to the cameras?
We got the
Yeah,
cameras in
that
there,
is
right,
in there.
Travis?
Let's see here, that one was under, it was right there towards the
front there, okay. I do remember seeing that in there, that you guys have access to any, oh, right there, if any contractor's buses are, it's under section 8 there, it says if any contractor buses are equipped with video surveillance, Nocton, or NSD has unrestricted right to review and preserve any video surveillance footage upon request. So that is in section 8 there. It's just a couple stipulations about timely requests and all that jazz, and yeah. Not that we would really even try to hide anything there, because we just want kids to be safe. So yep.
Well, my question was, is the discipline, because the bus and the schools have to come up with, like, because the bus driver is not a Knoxon school district employee at the time that they are on the bus. But let's say we had a kid cut a seat and we need to discipline that, and we pull the camera up, like, that was my question of how we would.
So this contract allows me, so if a bus driver comes in, ranks a kid up for their behavior on the bus, this contract allows me to be able to say, well, let me see the video footage so I can see what happened.
Okay, and do we still have to follow the same legal parameters of not having audio on the buses?
We should.
So there is audio on the cameras that are on there. The main purpose of this clause, in my understanding, is simply privacy laws. Basically, as we are being contracted by the school district, there are privacy laws that prohibit us from being able to show video or audio to unaffiliated parties. So that would be my understanding of this contract, is it enables us to be able to share that with you so that we can work hand in hand, because it's always just kind of been the principle of the bus, that the bus is an extension of a school, and it gives us both the ability to see things in real time as protection to to Harlow's, protection to the school, and protection for the drivers, and protection for the students as well.
I'm 100% okay with the cameras, it's just the audio. I don't believe we can have audio on the buses. I don't believe it's a Montana law that you can have audio recording unless you get permission.
I think that you so is that audio able to be turned off on those cameras?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's
So that's
bizarre.
what you're gonna have to work
It's not, it really is not bizarre. It has come up
And
quite a few times in the last 8 years.
Oh, I'm not saying that it hasn't come up. I just
It's if in a public meeting, everybody has the right to video us, but if we were in the hallway, you can videotape me without my consent, but you cannot have my voice.
sure. Yeah, I
So
believe that's the law.
The fire department had video, the ambulance did, and they had audio, and that was absolutely.
That's my only question about the video, was to make sure that we are truly compliant, because we have had an issue here before.
Okay.
I can look into that. The main thing that I'm seeing on the contract is that it specifies the video surveillance. So I can look into that and make sure that we are operating within the confines of the law. So yes.
I guess I would be comfortable approving this. I would just suggest or request that Mr. Ramsey check in with Kelva on
Sure.
that, and then that we take any appropriate working together with Harlow's if we do gotta disable it or whatever.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was able to be disabled, if that is still a functioning Montana law, because I know it's come up. Any further discussion?
No, thanks to Harlow's and Mr. Ramsey for getting this thing, and Kelva for getting it dialed.
You ready for a voice vote?
Yes, ma'am, sorry, I was writing.
Yes, no problem. Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Bylard,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz,
Aye.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey,
Aye.
all in favor, motion carries.
Moving on to item 7E, review and possible action on required policy updates from Kellogg Law.
Do you think we want to motion all these at once?
I would,
There's
because,
a couple of them that need, the board to make a decision.
yes, technically, we just need a motion to enter in the first reading.
And then we
Because-
could alter that and make
Yep.
a motion to approve it. Okay, make a motion, we enter into first reading on the required policy updates from Kellogg Law, 1401, 2410, 3612, 3655, 4315, 5122, and 5333.
Second.
Public discussion? Okay, Mr. Ramsey.
Okay, policy 1401, this is, covers the amount that a public agency can charge for completing a public records request. That amount changed in the last legislative session. There's a maximum hourly charge of $25 per hour. This one, does not require any decisions or options for the board to consider.
And the $5 filing fee, is that also new?
Yes.
Can we take these one by one and ask
Yeah.
questions as we go? Cause I do have a question on this one.
Sure.
The language in here that is, required that she has is the superintendent or designee will develop procedures for determining the cost of each request. I need a little bit more on that one, because are we giving the superintendent or the designee that by each case they can come up with it, or they're going to develop their own procedure of like, if it's more, like, I just need to know, cause Knoxon has a bad habit of changing our captain.
The cost of each, so I like a flat rate. Public records request, this is our fee
Okay.
for the time that it takes to do that.
And that's on top of the
Each
fee.
request is going to take different amounts of time.
Yeah, cause if I'm
Correct.
requesting
Yeah,
one little
fee.
thing from you,
No,
it
what I
might,
mean is a flat rate, flat per hour rate.
Right, correct.
So we can go up to $25 per hour.
And that's in addition to the materials at 25 cents a page.
Right.
I mean, I'm comfortable with the language as long as the policy is developed and it is consistently applied and it's within the legal parameters.
so if that policy is developed, where would that policy be at? Where would we find it if I was Joe Q Public?
Where-
We used to have,
It would be
Yeah.
right in the policy manual.
No, I'm just asking because like, there's no line here where each school can develop their own, but it says the superintendent or designee will develop, so,
So I think we would add a bullet here, right?
okay.
Well, no.
That's, I'm
Good
a
question.
little confused, I'm not trying to make it harder, it's just, I wanna kinda know.
Is that the idea for it to live in this policy, or would we leave this written this way and you put it like in the handbook or something?
I'd leave it written this way and put it into the handbook or something, or put a public records request.
On our website,
On the website with the, a form you'd fill out to do a public records request.
I think that'd be great, as long as we document it some
Right.
way so that everybody can see that it's being consistently applied.
Right.
You don't wanna get into someone accusing you of charging them more than you charge someone else.
and so the designee, that would be Tammy, you and Tammy, when it says the superintendent,
Right.
or designee.
Right.
I think that's a great plan.
any further discussions on 1401? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, we opened this motion to be just a first reading?
Yeah, so I'd suggest we do the first reading of all and see if we have more than one category, or if we can just bless them all, or.
Alright. Okay. 2410, Mr. Ramsey.
Okay, so this policy was updated in June 2025 due to legislative changes as well as August 2025. This was settled from a lawsuit requiring school districts to provide free appropriate public education to special education students up to age 22. OPI has issued updated guidance for this and additional, there was an additional question to the high school graduation questions portion of IEPs and an exit code for districts to use. So districts can now indicate with a checkbox that a student will receive some sort of credential other than a high school diploma. So the credential does not constitute a regular diploma, meaning that the obligation to provide that free appropriate public education to that student continues. But by checking that box, we can avoid identifying the student as a dropout. Okay. So OPI has indicated that issuing those credentials other than a high school diploma is a matter of local control. So,
Could you repeat that part about avoid having them be?
so a student up to age 22 with an IEP can continue in school, but if that student, if their disability is such that they would never earn a regular diploma, okay, we can exit them with a certificate of some kind. But in our system that we report to the state with, they would still count them as a dropout
On our,
on ours. So by adding this checkbox into the system that we report to the state with, Infinite Campus, with that checkbox, that clues in OPI that, oh, this is not a dropout, this was an IEP student who qualified under this policy to the age of 22, and then they never got the regular diploma, but they got this certificate instead.
Thank you.
And then that doesn't count as a dropout.
And our job tonight is basically to determine what that.
Right, when you look at the amended copy of the policy, there's where the yellow highlights are, is where there's options to change.
So,
In this policy,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Earlier in the year, when we adopted this policy, we had determined a total of 25 credits for a general diploma and 26 credits for a college prep diploma. It's my suggestion that we do not alter that, keep that as 25 and 26. We also previously included religious instruction release time. I recommend that we don't alter that, we keep that as we did before. And it's really the only thing that needs to be decided for this policy is under the certificates, what we're going to call the certificate of a student who ages out at 22 and does not earn that regular diploma. Options that we are given are either a certificate of completion, achievement, or attendance. Because this certificate would signify that a student who has completed their IEP goals, although they did not earn required credits for a diploma, I would suggest either a certificate of completion or certificate of achievement.
Is there a scenario, sorry, this is just my ignorance to IEPs. Is there a scenario where there's a stated IEP goals and they're not achieved? And then what happens in that?
And the student is between ages 18 and 22.
When they hit that 22 and then,
Then in that case, then we would not be able to check the box that said that they got
Oh.
their certificate.
Oh,
Okay.
so we couldn't create a attendance and completion.
Correct. I mean, it would be, I mean, if we were to see that kind of case and we were able to call it a certificate of attendance, then, then we would be able to check the box. But in that case, then we would not be able to check the box that said that they got their certificate.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think if the student achieves the IEP goals, I like the term certificate of achievement myself.
So you need us to pick one of those three?
But-
Pick one of those three.
Or could we put all three in those and then you at
Choose which one fits, hit the
per
term.
student?
It says choose one or identify name.
So if we picked certificate of achievement and that child didn't achieve his goals, would it look like a dropout? Whereas if we picked certificate of attendance and they were here, we wouldn't have the dropout?
Or is it just a name?
It's
If
like-
we weren't able to check that box like they did. Now
If we
keep,
did it-
keep in mind, I believe the number of students statewide that fell under this was less than 30. Right, so this portion of this is applying to those
Yeah.
students between 18
Just
to
got a couple.
22.
So it does say choose one, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to choose one. Why can't we have all three of those? Because I understand that it's a very small class that we're talking about. But I do see where if we had in a predicament, they might fall better in one of those parameters than another one per case by case.
I guess my question is there any functional difference to any of those three names, or are they just the names of the document that we give the student and the parents?
It's the name of the document. we
Okay.
give the
Yeah, I
student.
don't think there's legal,
That is all.
I don't think there's any
That is-
connotation.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are wrong.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering, if it's achievement, but they didn't achieve it, are they gonna
Because-
mark them as a dropout?
Okay,
Because
cause
it didn't.
I'm a parent with a kid that has an IEP,
Me too.
okay? So when we have our well, I'm just saying, that's why my brain is saying, I really do think that these three words matter. Because if my child she attended, but she didn't achieve and meet her goals, she can still get by this thing, she could still get a diploma by attendance. But if we mark it as achievement and she did not achieve her goals, then she can't.
My understanding, and Mr. Ramsey, correct me if I'm wrong, if a student does not achieve the goals of their IEP by age 22, then they are not eligible for this certificate regardless of what it's called.
No, because if they attend every day, they attended.
And you call it a certificate of attendance.
Absolutely.
Now,
But not
it's
achievement.
also, we don't have to choose any one of these three names. We can come up with the own name for
Oh,
it.
okay.
But again, this would be a very rare circumstance.
Well, time out, and I don't think this, so if they qualified for a diploma, they're getting a diploma, they're not getting a
Right,
certificate
right,
of
right,
achievement.
right.
So that
Right.
doesn't really apply, but the other, if we read the language here, it says, to a student eligible for special education services for successful completion of the IEP. So this is only in the case that they successfully complete their IEP, so I think a
Right.
certificate of achievement
Achievement.
is always gonna be appropriate. If that's the category that,
Regardless of what the goals of the IEP are.
yeah, cause by definition, that's what it's saying, successful completion of the IEP. So I can't imagine a scenario where, yeah, I just don't think, and that, we could table it and we could ask for clarification if there's
You
any
can,
legal
you've opened
connotation.
first reading, so this can be first reading, everybody can.
Precisely, yeah. So we could follow up with and find out if there's any legal implications of the different language we could use. Or functional.
$36.
Is that the next one?
So is this in the category that'll need a second reading, and the first one's in the category that will, so we'll have to read your motion later.
What's that?
We got two buckets started. Are ones that will probably approve tonight versus the ones that this will be treated as a first reading.
I believe so.
Yes.
That's what, yeah, that's what it seems like.
Everyone all is a first reading, or
somebody
Yeah.
Or
keeping
do,
a
or we,
list.
or you
I
could do
have
them all as a
all
first
sorts.
reading and in July we just blanket it.
Yeah.
Although,
That's
if
fine.
it's fresh and we like them, then
Do
just
it.
knock them out.
Yeah.
Lower your limit.
Are you ready for 3612?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 3612, this is the student acceptable use policy is revised to address the Children's Internet Protection Act.
I have a question just on
Yeah.
functionality.
Mhm.
How, I would imagine we have software and IT that helps with the filtering.
Yes.
How do we monitor? Just from a practicality.
From a practicality standpoint, if somebody, if a student flags on that, I get an email about what the student flagged on. Then
So
I'm able
if
to
some
go in
inappropriate.
and see a screenshot of what they were looking at.
Okay. So basically, software is doing the monitoring and flagging you if
Yes.
something concerning.
But we use Senso software
Cool.
in order to do that.
So implementation of this is already in place, basically. Cool.
$36.55?
And this one is, it's only, these have to legal changes. We're just adding hacking and,
Yes. So there was the Children's Internet Protection Act, so this policy changes to bring our policy in line with that law.
And then the other added part was the instructional activities. Do we already have that we're going to instruct them on what is appropriate? Is that already in place?
The district will carry out instructional activities to educate students about appropriate online behavior. Yes.
Cool.
and then we're adding hacking on the last one.
$36.55, this is the student protection policy, revised to address the regulations, adopted, under those regulations. They've gone through, this is the fingerprinting one that required the fingerprinting of all volunteers. So they went through and, clarified the definition of unsupervised contact, to mean that the individual is left alone with the student in a manner that is not a momentary absence. Okay, so there was the joint guidance that was developed by MTSBA, Kellogg Law, and OPI regarding those changes. The law's not changed regarding school district's ability to fingerprint background check non-employees. The law only permits entities to fingerprint background check employees and volunteers. Contractors would have to seek fingerprint background checks on their own. So it's this policy that required some changes in our contract with Arlos, for example. So again, the changes in this policy are to be more in line with that law and provide clarification on what's unsupervised contact.
It seems to me all your practices are already consistent with this policy anyway.
We were fingerprinting every volunteer.
Okay.
So,
So we're going above and beyond the policy.
next one. Okay. 4315. There were revisions made to clean up the language around the authority of administration to restrict access to district property at any time. Essentially, giving administration the ability to restrict individual access to school property at any time. So somebody comes on for a sporting event, and they're not in their sober mind, it gives the administration the ability to restrict that person from future events. Next slide. Okay, we got 5122. 5122 covers revisions made to the employee background check policy related to regulations that were addressed in the previous policy. So again, it's around fingerprint background checks of employees.
I do have a question on this one.
Sure.
Because we're taking out access to and then contact with, and there's a
Correct.
big legal difference between that and the school district.
Right.
So,
So a volunteer assigned to work in the district who has unsupervised contact with students. And so again, that unsupervised contact was clarified to me that the individual is left alone with the student in a manner that is not in momentary absence, okay, or in a public environment. So this is a volunteer that comes in, they're in the classroom, that unsupervised teacher has to run across the hall for a moment, right? That they're still in compliance, the volunteer is still in compliance. And finally, 5333. This was revisions to exclude President's Day as a required holiday and also Martin Luther King Day. The board had previously elected for those holidays listed to be counted as a holiday. So if the decision point for the board comes down to when one of the above holidays falls on a Sunday, the following Monday will not be a holiday. If the holiday falls on a Saturday, the preceding Friday will not be a holiday. Both of the holidays struck from this are the third Monday in February and the third Monday in January. So.
Just meaning it's not possible for them to fall under
Correct.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems straightforward.
And that is the policies, and however you wanna do things, if there's some that you want to vote for now, or just do them all in July, that's fine.
well, we only have one policy that we need to check on, and that was 2410. Cause I personally would like to know the difference, between that before we vote on that one.
Okay.
But I think the other ones, nobody had some serious questions about those, so,
Difference between certificate of attendance completion or attendance.
yes.
Just if there's functional or legal differences. Can I make a motion?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the modifications to the 6 policies, so excluding policy 2410.
A second. Miss Amy, vote please. Brain.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to item 7F, consider approval of para-educate, the pairs for 26-26 school years.
I motion to consider the approval of paraeducators for the 26-27 school year. And Alexander J. Butler, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yes.
You can say as listed as you, if you prefer.
As listed.
As listed. Okay. Public discussion, and actually I need to ask the board if you guys wanna do it as one lump sum or individual.
I'm fine with all together.
I mean, I would like to hear the recommendation superintendent, and if there's.
I just,
Yes.
because if we have to make a motion, then we have to do it individual, that's why I'm asking.
Okay, I got that couple.
Just to clarify for the camera, the J. Byler on there is not trustee J. Byler.
I did have that question.
My suggestion is just Just do them all.
And you recommend all of them?
I do recommend all of them. They've all done a good job this year. We have the need.
Are we have a changing of need, or do we not know that yet? As compared to how many pairs we needed last year?
Compared to the number of pairs we had last year, we did have a need where there's one pair that was not here, that was here last year that's not on this list currently. Should the need arise, then we would bring her to consideration for the board.
Thank you.
And just for the record, every year we do this, we get a lump sum at the beginning, and then when we start getting enrollment and we know where our need is, then we finalize that before the first day of school usually.
That's good.
Any further discussion? Ms. Hammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
I abstain.
thank you. Board Chair Miskowitz,
I abstain.
Vice Chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to item 7G, consider approval of head cook for the school year 26-27.
Smile.
A motion to consider the approval of head cook for 26-27, Mr. A. Johnson.
Second?
Public discussion. Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
Aaron's done a great job in the kitchen for us. I am especially appreciative of him sitting through this entire time. waiting for this moment. And I recommend Aaron for the head cook position for 26-27.
Okay, board discussion.
Does Mr. Johnson consent to this approval?
I am more than happy. I found my love for culinary arts here, went to college in Kalispell, worked in restaurants for 8 years, had the opportunity to come back here, worked for my dad at the hardware store for a year before the opportunity came to work here, and I jumped on it head first. And all of the opportunity that has come from just taking that leap has been such a blessing. So thank you all for considering me for this, because 2 years ago I was listed under cook, and now I have the opportunity to be listed as head cook / kitchen manager. So it's
Yeah.
wonderful opportunity. Thank you all.
No, appreciate
Thank
it.
you for all your work, absolutely.
Ms. Hammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Okay.
It's swelling already, look.
Moving on to item 7H, consider approval of cook for 26-27 school year.
A motion to consider the approval of a cook for 26-27 school year, Mr. J. Perkins. Miss J.
Second. Okay, public discussion.
Who seconded
It is
that?
myself.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
Yeah, this candidate Juliana Perkins is relocating here from out of state. She contacted me through email and applied. She came in and visited the school, and actually started really hitting it off right away with some of our staff. I think she's got a great personality, and I think she will work well. Plus, she's in the state that she's moving from. She's a licensed para-educator. So, although Montana does not require para-educator licensure, where she's coming from did. So if there's need in the future for an experienced para-educator, we've already got somebody in the building that we can shift over. And, I think she'll be a great asset to the school. Awesome.
Further discussion from the board. Ms. Hammy, can we do a voice vote, please?
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All motion carries.
Moving on to item 7I, consider approval of maintenance substitute for 26-27.
I make a motion to consider approval of maintenance substitute 26-27 school year.
A second.
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
We just retired, and after 50 years of teaching, you can't seem to get rid of him. Mr. Gebhardt will do a great job. Dan would like to be able to have him here to do substitute maintenance work, running the weed eaters and that kind of thing. So give him the chance to get out of the house and still contribute to our community.
Awesome.
Further board discussion? Ms. Tammy, a voice vote, please.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
trustee Weiler,
I'm abstaining.
board chair Miskowitz,
I'm abstaining.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
Motion carries with trustee Weiler and Miskowitz abstaining.
Moving on to item 7J, consider approval of pet ban advisor for 26-27 school year.
A motion to consider the approval of the pep band advisor for the 26-27 school year.
Second.
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
Sari MacArthur has been our pet band advisor for many years now. She's always gets the students there to be able to play at the games, and the community likes to have a band there. So I recommend Sari MacArthur as pet band advisor.
Further discussion? Ms. Tammy, the floor is yours.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
trustee Weiler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Item 7K, consider approval school year 26-27 athletic personnel. We have football, volleyball, junior high volleyball, and
High school girls basketball.
thank you.
Make a motion to approve 26-27 athletics personnel. L. MacArthur, T. Richter, C. Broadmerkle, and C. Broadmerkle.
Second.
Public discussion?
We're still looking for assistant volleyball and assistant football, high school. So you guys run
Okay,
across
you're-
somebody,
You're looking for what?
assistant volleyball, high school, and assistant football.
And those are both, high school, right?
Yes, ma'am, right now.
Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
I really like being able to have consistent personnel in our coaching positions, and each one of these have done this for multiple years, and I recommend each one to continue.
Further discussion? Okay, Ms. Tammy, the floor is yours.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
trustee Weiler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz,
Aye.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Item 7L, consider approval of the athletic director.
Motion to approve Mr. Havens as the athletic director.
Second.
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey.
Mr. Havens does a great job as our athletic director. He handles things in a way that I have absolute confidence that he's getting things taken care of. So I highly recommend Mr. Havens as athletic director.
Thank you.
Mr. Havens, I gotta take a minute to really tell you thank you. I've been to 2 other schools and had some run-ins with the ADs there, and you are a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
I agree.
Further discussion? Ms. Tammy.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
trustee Weiler,
Aye.
board chair Miskowitz,
Aye.
vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey. Aye. All in favor, motion carries.
Moving on to item 7M, consider approval of the MOA for the athletic director.
Motion to consider approval of the memorandum of agreement for the athletic director.
Second?
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey?
So this is a memorandum of agreement that we've been doing the last several years to allow Mr. Havens to have an additional planned period for his athletic director duties. Athletic director is on top of, it's in addition to what he's already doing, and having that time available. And every school I've been in, the athletic director gets an additional planned period for athletic director duties. So the union has already agreed to this, and so just need to do the board's part.
Further discussion? Ms. Sammy?
Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Bosker.
Yes.
Trustee Byler.
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 7N, consider approval of the transfer of unspent funds at the end of school year 25-26 from the elementary general fund to the interlocal fund.
On the motion, consider the approval of transfer of unspent funds at the end of school year 2025-2026 from elementary general fund to interlocal fund.
A second. Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey, you or Ms. Amy want discussion on this one?
Yeah, this one, both items N and O are something that we do this in June every single year. It's a standard thing of being able to transfer those funds from the unspent general funds to interlocal.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if we do not do that, we lose that money, correct? Or it's harder to,
Correct, that's why you have an interlocal fund, so you do not lose that.
okay, Ms. Tammy, the floor is yours.
So we're doing the elementary first, so
Yes.
three
Yes, ma'am.
trustees will be abstaining. Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Bosker.
Yes.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, item 7O, consider approval transferring the unspent funds from the end of school year 25-26 from the high school general fund to the interlocal fund.
Make a motion to transfer unspent funds at the end of the 25-26 school year from high school general to interlocal fund.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Public discussion? Mr. Ramsey?
This is the same as, this is just the high school end of it.
Do you guys have any questions? Okay, Ms. Tammy?
Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Bosker.
Yes.
Trustee Byler.
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and moving on to item 7P, consider approval of the authority to pay end of year expenses through 6/30/26.
Make a motion for the authority to pay end of year expenses through June 30th, 26.
Second? Public discussion. Mr. Ramsey or Ms. Tammy?
So the fiscal year ends June 30th, and so we need board approval to pay any of the bills between now and June 30th before the fiscal year switches open.
Any further discussion? Ms. Tammy?
Trustee Bass.
Aye.
Trustee Bosker.
Yes.
Trustee Byler.
Aye.
Board Chair Miskowitz.
Aye.
Vice Chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
Okay,
Carries.
moving on to item 7Q, consider approval of out-of-district students for the high school district.
Before the motion, Eric, your paper's in view of the camera. Thank you.
And just for the record, we're only doing high school right now. Is there any public discussion? Okay, and Mr. Ramsey?
I don't think you made a motion.
Oh, I thought we did, I'm sorry.
No, I jumped in there.
Yep, so can I get a motion to approve out-of-district for high school, please?
Make a motion that we approve out-of-district students for the high school.
Second.
Still no public comment? Mr. Ramsey?
These are out of district, students, most of them are returning students. All of them in the high school are returning.
You guys have any questions?
I do, just out of
Yeah.
curiosity. Do we have to pay Idaho for students since
No.
they're out of
No,
state?
they're out of
Oh,
state.
so that's kinda like a freebie we get. Just curious. I was wondering with this being so close.
Okay, Miss Hammy, the floor is yours.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
Yes.
trustee Byler,
Aye.
board chair Riskowitz.
Aye.
Vice chair Oldenburg,
Aye.
trustee Ramsey.
Aye.
All motion carries.
Alright, moving on to item 7R, consider approval of the out-of-district students for elementary with Child Creek abstaining.
Motion to approve out of district for elementary.
Second? So we're
Public
waiting for it.
discussion.
Yep.
Thanks, you're legal.
Alright. Mr. Ramsey, the floor is yours.
These are out of district students for elementary, most of them are returning, looks like we've got 5 that will be new enrollments.
Now, the dates that are beside these, that's when they filled out their paperwork?
That's when we receive the paperwork.
Okay. So we're not really sure if they're all still going to attend?
That is correct.
That's correct, we don't, yeah.
Yep.
So what about the ones that have no dates and no yellow highlight next to them? What's that mean, like on the top
The
of the
first
list,
one.
they're,
The
it's not
very
highlighted,
first,
if it's not highlighted or dated? Is that
That's a
just,
possibility.
that's a possible,
oh, they're just deciding,
We've
Yeah.
been contacted, but we haven't received the paperwork.
alright,
So as it's there, so we're not technically, that's more of a FYI, we're not approving that one at this time.
Correct. That's why it's not highlighted.
That's why
in
he's not
yellow.
highlighted. Okay, further questions? Okay, Miss Amy, yours with Child Creek sustaining.
Trustee Bass,
Aye.
trustee Bosker,
yes.
vice chair Oldenburg.
Aye.
Motion carries with Trout Creek abstaining.
Okay, and before I get a motion to adjourn, just to recap, my 3 trustees, you guys are going to, Mr. Byler, Mr. Bass, and Mr. Oldenburg, you guys are going to get with Mr. Ramsey and set up a schedule for you guys to get that.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll be contacting Fellow first thing in the morning
And you
to
can
let,
put the gas.
let her know and get the contract portion of that started.
Okay, can I get it? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, do you wanna we'll talk off there? Just
Okay.
wanna figure out how you wanna manage that whole thing.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.